What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, we're just a week away from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania hitting theaters, at least in the UK, a day or two later for the US. And between now and then, we still have this upcoming Sunday Super Bowl for what I suspect will be the final trailer, if there's any new footage at all. And we're going to do the normal watch party for whatever Marvel trailers may come here at the channel, so make sure to tune in. We'll do that before I get to the Easter egg breakdowns. But amongst those Marvel trailers is rumored to be the second trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy, and as evidence of this, and just a day ago, we got the official synopsis for the film. We're going to break down what Marvel has released about it, what it says about Rocket's future, and reveals about the plot of the film. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway, which is a week away now, to coincide with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, literally 7 days. So all you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, there has been an obvious sense of finality surrounding this film ever since the first trailer and some of the imagery and scenes that we saw during it, but also in recent comments from Dave Bautista himself about never returning to Marvel to ruin what he called the perfect send-off. And amongst all of the characters, for me, that are at least up to Paris during this film, Drax has always been number one in the Deadpool. That definitely hasn't changed. In fact, the odds have got even better. He's not going to make it out of this film alive. But other death rumors have surrounded Rocket, another main character in the film, and recently James Gunn has confirmed that he's sort of the secret protagonist, that while the Guardians trilogy is about all of the characters, and in particular Peter Quill for the first two films, that this film will really focus on Rocket and finishing up his story. And just days ago, this is the official synopsis that Marvel Studios dropped for the movie. Quote, "The Guardians of the Galaxy are adjusting to life on Nowhere, but their existence is upended by echoes from Rocket's past. Peter Quill must lead the Guardians on a dangerous mission to protect Rocket that could lead to the team dissolving." Now, this doesn't read too dissimilar from an initial premise we had. Quote, "Peter Quill, still reeling from the loss of Gamora, must rally his team to defend the universe along with protecting one of their own, that one being Rocket. A mission, if not completed successfully, could quite possibly lead to the end of the Guardians." But I think this brand new synopsis actually reveals a little more about certain scenes we've seen in the trailer. Now look, I get it. It definitely sounds ominous. A dangerous mission to protect Rocket, and I know what the rumors have said, but guys, to be honest, I do not think Rocket's going to die in this film. I'll explain why, but the scenes that I'm talking about in particular are the first scenes we've seen of Adam Warlock attacking what presumably is Nowhere. The setting at least looks like that from what we saw from the holiday special. We know that Adam Warlock from the comics is tied to the High Evolutionary. He actually inherits part of his name from that. We talked about that in the previous Easter egg video, and I think there's a good chance that Adam will actually come directly from the High Evolutionary in that attack, actually injure Rocket. Rocket's injury is what's going to cause the Guardians to seek out the High Evolutionary in the first place, because the High Evolutionary, as Rocket's creator, may be the one person that can save him. The danger is inherent because the High Evolutionary is not someone that you want to go seeking out in the first place, and as we can already tell from Rocket's backstory, going home is not, well, a homecoming to be celebrated. Certainly something he would not be looking to do, only if he had to do, and that might be the reason. Now, those injuries inflicted by Adam Warlock might also have something to do with it. He may be injured in a way that they don't know how to fix. But regardless, and as I mentioned moments ago, I'm not sure that Rocket's imminent demise is spelled out by the synopsis or even the trailer footage, and because of one main shot towards the end of the trailer that shows all the Guardians teaming up in what looks like preparing for a final battle. Even Gamora, who we know from early D23 footage, which has not been released to the public, was part of the Avengers and really not on Peter Quill's side or a part of their team, is teamed up with them as well. So whatever early peril Rocket finds himself in, I think will at least be resolved whether or not he's the one under the scalpel, and by the end of the film, his chance of dying will be just as good as anybody else's. Again, it seems like they're all up for the fight, at least going into what would be the end of the third act. Now, I don't think you need to kill off Rocket for a poignant ending, but we also know that regardless of who dies, the Guardians of the Galaxy in some form or fashion is going to go forward, and as we've mentioned in other videos, it could be Cosmo the dog forming the second version of the Guardians, or even the Annihilators, as he did in the comics after Star Star-Lord left the team, and I think that's where Rocket's eventual end ends in this trilogy. Star-Lord, I think, leaves the squad, and you have Rocket finally stepping up to be the captain that he assumed he's been this entire time. Look, from his perspective in Infinity War, when he said, okay, time to be the captain, that's a really important scene. Even though James Gunn didn't direct that, that was meant to show us that Rocket doesn't think he's the captain just to piss Quill off. Rocket thinks he's the captain because he really thinks he's the captain, and once Peter Quill departs from the team, which I think is how this should all end, then you have Rocket stepping up as the captain of the next version of the team, which may be the Annihilators, and that's why I think they made sure to show a connection between Rocket and Cosmo the dog during the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, so that when this team goes forward, your nucleus is right there behind Rocket. I think Rocket survives. Ultimately, I think Drax goes, and ultimately the Guardians team does not look the same after Star-Lord leaves, but I don't think Rocket dies as a part of the end of this. At least I hope he doesn't, and I'm optimistic about that. One other thing I'll say about the film, and sort of as we anticipate Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I know that the purpose of that film is to set up what's coming with Kang Dynasty and the MCU as a whole. Please temper your expectations for how Guardians of the Galaxy is going to fit into this huge multiverse story. I know we just came out of Phase 4 with a bunch of very insular stories that they made sure didn't really connect in any certain ways because of the pandemic or otherwise, and we don't have to get into all that now, but keep in mind that a majority of the Guardians of the Galaxy script, the one that we're going to see on this screen, this movie was conceived of and written years and years and years ago, long before the fabric of the MCU had been woven into exactly what it is now. So where I don't think that this movie is going to explore is how really it connects to the overall multiversal saga, unless in a post-credit scene or setting up where the Guardians go from here. I also hope they keep Rocket around because the multiverse saga is going to have one insane conclusion, and Rocket being a part of Secret Wars is definitely something that I want to see. But you guys let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about all of this? Who do you think is up to die? Well, other than Drax, I think we're all in agreement of that. And who do you want to make sure survives this film? How mad will you be if Peter Quill leaves and Rocket takes over as captain? I am all ears. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5, and instead of doing so at certain milestones now for subscriber milestones, we're going to do so to just coincide with Marvel movie releases. The next one is next week. So if you want to be entered to win for any of the other giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here, and never in the comments. So if you should get spam on my channel or anywhere on YouTube, remember anybody can use anybody else's photo, pretend to be somebody, anybody can comment and say you won something. Please do not contact people on third-party apps. We will never ask you for shipping. That's not what we do. Just report those comments and please stay safe. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name AllFires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.